today we'll talk about Word. And then next week we'll talk about PowerPoint. And the third week we'll talk about Excel. And then I believe that by the time that we finish with the 3 sessions, you have some skills on how to maneuver your way around Microsoft Office. Can any of you help us with, maybe you know any other software in the Microsoft Office package?
The publishing software.
Okay, so we have the publisher.
Yeah.
The publisher. Any other example?
Yeah. We also have the Access, the Microsoft Access.
Okay.
That's the one that is used for the database.
Okay, so Access is used for database. Good. Okay, so we are looking at getting started. When you see getting started, doesn't mean like introduction. It means that if you are new to Microsoft Word, how do you start the program? How do you start typing? How do you start doing something else? So that is getting started. We'll look at creating and saving documents, look at formatting text, we'll look at the header and the footer and how to set page numbers, and we'll look at how to work with tables. What do we use Word for? What have you used Word to do before? So maybe example of files that you can use Word to create. So I'll give one example, like a letter. You can use Word to write a letter. Can anybody give any example?
For typing reports or memorandums.
Okay, so reports or memos, yeah, sharp. Any other person?
You can also use it for designing.
Designing, can you explain further?
Yeah, so when I talk about designing, I'm talking about the invitation cards. You can use Word in that aspect.
So invitation cards, okay. So for cards,
yeah.
Any other examples, please?
For tabulation, like calculation.
Calculation.
Yes.
I don't think that would be the best software to use. If it's for calculation, I want to look at Excel.
Yes.
Excel will be the best software for doing calculation.
Okay. Thank you.
You can use Word to generate a report. You can use Word. You can even use Word to do your letterheads. So the letterheads, it's not all the time I use CorelDRAW to do letterhead. You can use Word to do your letterhead. You can even use Word to publish papers, presentation, your reports, your memos. You can do CVs from the Word software. You can do a lot of things, and that's why it's very powerful. You can do calendar on Word. You can do business proposals, like working documents, a lot of things. Maybe at the end, I will try and show you where to get some of those examples from the interface, and then you can use them as you go along. So Word allows you to create a variety of documents, like we are saying, including letters, resumes, and then a whole lot more. We will learn how to go through the Word interface, which probably you have seen over and over again. We'll just go through sharp. And then, like I said, it's very similar to 2019, 2013, and then 2010. Very, very similar. So I want to start just open Word. First, I go to start. I type Word here, and then I use 2019. So in 2016, you will see this thing. It doesn't show like the way I see the blue, like the different shades of blue. It doesn't show like this. We are in 2016, but this is 2019. So I open Word, and then it tells me blank document. I say, okay, new. So I open the new, and then here we are. When you look at Word 2016, 2019, and the rest, all these tabs that you see are supposed to be your menu, all of this. But what they've done in 2016 and 2010 is that they put all of these things together. So we call this a ribbon. We call this a ribbon of what? Menu. So these are the ribbons you see. So every ribbon here, every tab has a lot of what? Commands on the tabs. So we have the file, we have the home, we have insert, design. These are all tabs, but they all come together to form what? Ribbons. So all of these things that you see from where my mouse pointer is, all these things from the left side to the right side, this is a ribbon. So if you look at the arrow that my cursor is on, you will see that the option that you are seeing there is that collapse the ribbon. So when you are working, you can actually collapse this. and then you work on your interface or on the Word document. If you don't want it this way, you can as well go back and then you pin it so that it stays there, and then you work. Once you do that, the typing interface will go down. This is a ruler, like you can see. This is a ruler. We'll see what we use the ruler for. If you want the ruler to disappear, you go to View, and then you see the ruler. You uncheck it. When you uncheck it, the ruler is gone. So when you click on your file, this interface you are seeing, we call this the back view. The back view. Let me go back. If you click File, this is the back view. So from the back view, we can do a lot of things here. We can open a new document. We can open existing documents that we have created already. We can do print. We can share. We can export our documents. We can make copies. So save as is used to make copies, while save is used to what? Save the current changes that you have done on your document. This is the back view. This is a slider. You have a slider here. A slider. If you have a big screen, this should show the whole blank document should show. But if you don't have a big screen, then you have to use a slider. And then we have the zoom down there. Please, who can tell me why you want to zoom?
To increase or decrease the size of the page.
Good. So if you are typing and you feel like what I'm typing is too small, you just zoom and then you see it better. So that's what we do for the zoom. So if you're typing and you can't see, or it's too small, you can just zoom it, and then it becomes bigger for you to be able to type. So that's the Word interface. Please, any question on the Word interface now? Then we move on.
Then we can move on, please.
Okay, thank you. So I was talking about the ribbon. The ribbon is what? So instead of traditional menu, now Word is using multiple tabs. So that is the ribbon. So there are multiple tabs. Every tab has its own commands. So we just spoke about that. Then I showed you the ruler as well. I showed you the ruler. Okay, so you can show the ruler. You can decide not to show the ruler. If you want to type and want to get a bigger space, you can just clear the ruler and then type. But if you want to do certain operations with the ruler, then it means that the ruler has to show. Then I just spoke to you about the backstage. Okay, so this is the backstage view. And then if you are using Word, there are three modes that you can actually use in Word. So we have the read mode, you have the print layout. Now, what we opened before was the print layout. So by default, when you open Word, it takes you towards the print layout. So you can either switch to web layout or read mode. Now, the read mode, like the name suggests, if you already have an existing document, like a book, and you only want to read, don't want to edit anything, you just want to read it, it's better to use the read mode. It will open it well like a book, and then you read it. Now, if you want to do, the reason why we use the print layout is that most of the time we want to print our documents. So we want to make sure that we are doing the right setup, so that after typing and saving your document, you know that when you print, it's supposed to show the way you are seeing it. Now, the web layout will display like a web page. So just like the way we go to our web browsers and look at the content, it shows us the page just like a web browser. So I'll go back to Word, and then we'll try and look at how to get this one. So we are saying that you have to go to View tab. So the View tab on the ribbon, we go to the View tab on the ribbon. So this is View. This is View. Good. And then on the left side, you can see all the views. So we have the print view, which I said that if you want to print, this is the document you want to use. Now the read mode. This is the read mode. So if I had a lot of content, we'll see that it's showing the left and the right like a book. So let me escape. Okay. So if you want to come out, use the escape on your keyboard. The ESC key on your keyboard. Then we can use the web layout just on the right of print layout. So we go to web, and then the page opens like what? It opens like a web page. So these are the view modes. Creating and opening documents. Now, if we talk about create, it means that you are doing something new. But if you talk about opening, it means that you are opening a document that is already, it has already been worked on. So if I create a document like I did the new one and I save right now, it becomes an existing document. So the next time I want to work on it, I won't go and create another one. I have to come and open that document. So that's the difference between creating and opening. So we are saying that if you want to open an existing document, all you do is that you go to File. So you go to the Backstage view, and then you click on Open, and then you look at where you saved it, and then you open it. Or you can directly go to the folder where you save the document and double click, and then it opens. So that's how we open a file, and that is very easy. For anybody who is using a computer, you should know how to open a file. You locate where the file is, you double click, and then you open it. Now, saving documents. So normally we use Control S. On your keyboard, you see CTRL, that's Control key, and then you add the S. You hit it together, so Control and S, and then you save. Or you can go to the Backstage view and go to Save. Now, when you use Save, for the first time, to ask you to select where you want, the location you want to save. If it's a new document and you want to save, once you hit Control S, or you go to Backstage view and use the Save, it will ask you for a location, and then you select the location and what you will save. If it's the first time, that's what will happen. But if you have already saved for the first time, now the preceding ones will be that when you do Control S, it's going to only save or modify the content of the already saved document. So if I type ABC and I say save, the word will not take me back to location to go and say it will just modify the content of what the already saved document, and then put the ABC in that content. Next thing is we have save and we have save as. Now what we do is that we use save as to create what? A second copy, a different copy of the existing file. So I'm working in Word, and the one I'm working on, I take that one to be the original document, and I want to create another document. What I will do is that I will try and do Control save as. I'll go to save as. When I do save as, then I give another name to that document, and then it becomes a copy. With Word, you can actually save your document in what? As PDF. So you can like we have been doing with our CVs and our memos. You can type in Word, save it as Word, and then when you want to send it via email, you save as what? PDF, and then you can send it as email. So these are the various ways that we have in saving our documents. So I'll just demo it with the new file I was trying to create. So this is a new file. So immediately I say save, file, I say save. Now for the first time, it's going to ask me to save at a location. So I'm going to pick documents, and I give it a name. Then one, let me give it a name like this. And then I save. Now, if I continue typing, and I want to save, I go back here and I say save. It doesn't ask me for any location. It modifies the file I'm working on. So it only adds what I'm typing to the file that I've already saved. So if I say save, I'll use Control S. Now, because I'm doing Zoom, that means that all the time I should be using this. So for you to see what I'm doing, save. So it's there. If I want to do a copy of this whilst I'm typing, I don't want to go and do copy paste and then no. Whilst I'm typing, I see, oh, okay, this is the original. Now I want to create a copy of the original. So I go to save as. I go to file, and I do save as. Then maybe the same place, documents. Now I do down one, I do dash copy. Once I do the copy, I've created a new file. I've created what? A new file, but it's the same file as what? The content is the same as the first file. Now, anytime I do any editing here, I delete or I type something and I do save, it won't go and save on the first one than one. It will save on what? Than one copy. Because you have the original file, you don't want to touch it. You only want to work on what? The copy, so that any mistakes or any editing you do, it doesn't affect the first one. And then if I want to save this as PDF, I go to the same file, I do save as, I go to documents, then down here, you see save as type. Now we have Word document here. this is where we change it. So you click on the arrow here, or you can click on this, and then you see options. Now you go down and look at PDF. This is a PDF. That's a PDF. So I select PDF. Then I say save. So once I save, I think on Windows, once you save on the as PDF, it's going to open the file for you to see what you have saved. So if you have Adobe Reader, it will open straight to Adobe Reader. If you don't have Adobe Reader and you have Microsoft Edge, it will open straight to what? To Edge for you to check what you have saved. So this is a PDF file of what I just saved. So I save this as what? PDF. Now, formatting text. We want to learn how to format text. So the document I gave you, you want to pick the first one, text basics. When you look at it, you see Ssendacom text basics. Trying to change the look and feel of Word is what we call formatting. You are trying to maybe highlight, you want to change the font type, you want to change the font color, you want to underline, you want to do some italics, you want to do, those things are what we call what? Formatting. So if you have that document, so here we are going to learn how to select text. We'll learn how to delete text, how to add spaces, how to start a new paragraph. And then there's one, and then we'll look at copy and how to move text, all those things, how to do redo and undo. These are elementary things. And then we'll see how we can add a symbol as well. So this is my text basics. So this is the document I shared. This is the first document I shared. So we are going to look at how to format our text. Now, when you click up there, so you see an insertion point. That is where you're going to begin typing. So if I write type A, you will see where the A is showing. Now, everything you are seeing here is called text. This is what we call text. Combination of letters, numbers, and all characters, we call them text. So after typing the A, it means I'm adding text. Okay. We use enter, the enter key on your keyboard to go to the next paragraph. When you hit enter, you go to the next line. And that's what we say, if you want to start a new paragraph, you use enter. So enter is used to what? Start new paragraphs. If you want to delete, we have backspace. You can use the backspace to go one character at a time to the left, one character at a time to the left, one character at a time to the left. If you want to do delete, delete will delete one character at a time from the right. So if I put the insertion point in front of the AD, and I use the delete key, DEL, on your keypad, DEL, it will delete from the right. And there we go. So sometimes when you are working on your document, we get confused using the backspace and then the delete key. Wherever your pointer is, if my pointer is in between including and ties, if I use the backspace, it will delete to the left. If I use the delete key to delete from the right. So for example, if I use the delete key, it will delete the T, because from the right, T. Now, if I do backspace, it will delete to the left. So it will remove the space over there. And then delete the J as well. Okay. So if I want to retype what I just deleted, I'll do J and then the space. Now the space key, the longest key on your keyboard, is used to make spaces on what? On the document. So you can see I've made one space. I can actually do 2 spaces, 3 spaces, 4 spaces, like can do a lot of spaces. So we use a space key to make what? To make the spaces that we see over there. So when you're typing a word, after every word there's a space. So you use a space key to do those things. Now, when we come to selecting text, what we call highlighting, there are several ways to do highlighting, but it depends on how fast you want to work. So if I want to highlight hand, I can put the mouse pointer in front of hand, click and drag to select. So when I came here, I held the mouse with a click, and then I dragged it to the end and I stopped clicking. So you have to click, hold, and drag to the end of the text you want to select. So if I want to select hand up to vehicle, then I have to click and hold and drag from the hand till I get to vehicle. Then I select it. This is highlighting. This is selecting text. So there are reasons why you want to select text. Sometimes you want to underline, you want to change the font, you want to add a color, you want to delete. These are reasons why you want to what? Select a text. But without selecting the text, you can't do all those operations. If you want to select a whole line, maybe I want to select, instead of doing, I'm working on a very vast document, and instead of doing all this, holding, clicking, and dragging, I want to select this entire line. The shortcut is that you put your mouse in front of the first word. And once your mouse pointer changes to an arrow, please, can you see the change? One is facing to the one arrow is showing to the left. Now it changes to an arrow showing to the right. When I click this, it will select everything. So let me remove this one. So imagine I want to select everything on this line. Let me use the second line, the third line, interior vacuum. I want to use this one. So I come here, once it changes to the right arrow, I click in that area. Once I click, it selects. If I click this, also it selects this one. If I click this one, it selects this one. Now, if I want to select or highlight everything here, all I do is that I will click on the left side, hold and drag. It will select all your documents. Sorry, not all, to select up to where you want to select to. So I want to select up to this, to select up to this place. Now, if you want to select the entire document, you use Control A. So on your keyboard, we have the Control key, and you press the A together. So if I want to select the whole document, I do Control and I do A. It selects everything. Select everything on the document. I want to change the font type, this one. So when you go to the Home tab, you will see the font command where my mouse pointer is. That's the font. Everything here is what? The font command. Everything you find here is the font command. So if you want to change, this font type, please, what is the first thing you will do? I think when I was talking about the highlighting, although I spoke about it, what's the first thing that you have to do?
You select the text first.
Good. That's good. So if you want to change the font type for the first line, we select the first line, then we go here, and then we select the desired font type that we want. So there are so many font types here. I know people are aware of this, the Algerian, because of the styling of your fonts. You can use Arial Black as well if you want to add emphasis. So I'm going to use Arial Black. So once I use the Arial Black, it means that the first line will change. Now this looks different from the other ones. So it means that currently I have changed what? The font type. Now the size. Now we have the type on the left and then the size on the right. So if you hear people talking about font size, it's the numbers. So I'll have to select again and then go. I want to make it bigger. I can go to what? I can select these numbers. So I can go 24 or 28. Let me use 36. And it becomes very big. So if this is what you want to do in your document, you leave it like that, and then you continue. Now, just by the number, you will see a bigger A and a small a. So the bigger A means that you have to increase the font size. Now it will make it bigger by what? By 2. Please, can you see this side moving? When I click on this, you will see 16 will move to 18. So this will go to 18. If you do on the other side, to come down by 2. So you look at the number, it's going down by 2. So the same way I can select this, and I say it's 14, I want it to be 18. I don't have to go here and go and look at 18, even though I can do that, but I can just click here, 1, 2. It takes me to 18, the same thing. If I say, oh, now I don't want the 18, I want maybe 12. I click this until I get a 12. If you want to change the color of the font, you select, so I want to change everything from shampoo to the end, dash. I want to change this and make it red. So as usual, I select the text. So even if I want to do only shampoo, I can select the text shampoo. and then I go to the font command, and then I look at the A. You always see an A, and then the underline. We have the auto is black. So if you have not used color before, you will see black over there instead of the red you are seeing. So if it's black, then it means that you have to go and select the red here. And then you come to here, the red. Once you put your cursor on it, you see that the color is changing. So you look at shampoo, you see that the color of the shampoo is changing. Okay, so I need red. So I use the red. Then I make, let me say, floor mats. Let me make floor mats green. Let me select this green. Okay, I make it green. And then I make clean and protect console. Okay, so I want to ask you a question. Why would you want to change some font colors?
It helps you to identify some key points. If you want
Thank
to
you.
highlight
So
or identify key points.
good. So sometimes for emphasis, you want to catch the reader's attention. So once the person is reading, when you come to the color, once that color is different from black, the person will want to what? Look at it. And sometimes even when the person opens the page and sees black throughout, there's no enthusiasm for the person to read. But once he sees some colors within, there's more enthusiasm for the person to what? To read. Now I'll go straight to the underlining and then the italic. So with underlining, let me go down and select another thing. So I'll go to include seats and door panels. So I select this and I hit bold. Bold will make your text the same word, bolder. So let me use the layman text. It makes it more black. It makes it more black. So if it is red, it makes it more red. So that is bold. So if you want to bolden your text, you select the text and then you use the B up there. You can also use Control B on your keyboard. The same thing will happen to the what? Italic and underline. Control I for italic. So I can come here, back to this one. Instead of hitting this one, I'll use the Control and the I. Then it will slant. So the same way, you want to put emphasis on what you are typing. You can use the italics, you can use the bold, you can use the underline. So underline is what? Control U. Now, this is the beauty of Word. Once you put the mouse on the command, it shows you the shortcut. So you see underline, it tells you can use Control plus U. So once I do this, you see an underline there. So with the underline, there are certain things that you can add to your underline. So if you hit the arrow down there, you can see that you can actually add several lines. You can do several lines. Instead of the solid line, you can do double solid lines. You can do a thick line. You can do dashes. So then the line that we do, it's not only the solid line that we always use to underline. You can do dashes, you can do spiral. So you can do this. So if you don't want a solid bar, you can just go to the underline and then use the drop-down arrow and select which one you want. So there are more underlines there. You can even change the color. So there are more things that you can do with what? With Word. This is subscript, this is superscript. So you can actually do this. So let me do x to the power 2. So I'll do x, I'll do number 2 to the power. So I select the 2 and I use this one. It goes up. Simple. So let me do this big screen. Good. Zoom. Now we have seen the use of the zoom. Now I can actually go here and then do subscript as well and see what happens. It goes down. So actually you can use Word to also type what? Math formulas. Because all these things are present. You have equations here which you can as well insert to your Word document. So you can copy, Control C, you can paste here, Control V, and you paste. So if I do Control X, it means cut. Control X, I cut it and I put it here. Control V. So this, I have moved the text from what? Down here to the top here. You can actually select this and then click and hold and drag to a different location. It's the same as moving it. So if I want to move this shampoo to the top here, to this side, I will click. After selecting it, I'll click, hold, and drag to this place. So that's the moving. If you use Control and the X on the keyboard, that is what you cut. So I can actually do right click as well, and you can see cut over there. So I can cut here, and then still right click and paste. Now we have paste options, but I want to do this one. Try and be using this one all the time. Keep text only. It's always good to use keep text only, so that the text that you are pasting, it will paste into the format that you are currently using. You don't go and use another format. Sometimes when you copy, especially from the website, and you are dumping there, you do Control V, it will dump the same formatting from the website onto your document. You don't want that. Okay, the symbol. I want to insert some dollar here. There was no dollar here. I want to select insert the dollar. So you go to where you click where you want to select the insert the symbol. And then you go to insert. Now to your ribbons, you go to the insert tab, you click, and then you go to the far right, and you see symbols. Now for mathematicians, which I will not talk about, you can do equations as well. And it gives you an option to what? Add equations, several equations, and then you just only edit them and then put the requirements or the variables in there. But I won't talk about that. So go to symbol, you will see some currently used symbols here. So if you find a dollar here, good, you select, you go. If you don't find a dollar here, you go to more symbols. It opens a dialog box for you. You go and look for the dollar symbol. So you can insert any kind of symbol you want. So let me talk about the text alignment quickly. So we have four types of alignment. So when you go to the home tab, you see them. They are here. So paragraph, you see the align left, align center, align right, and then justify. It works on paragraph. So this is a whole paragraph. So I go to the first paragraph and I do right. It moves it straight to the right side. Please, can you see the movement? Let me do it bigger, small. Okay, too big. Okay, this is fine. So I do align left. It goes back to the default. Default is always what? Align left. When I do right, it pushes the text to the right. So the other side ends at the right. Now, when I do center, it centers this text. So when I add this and I do center, it centers the text. Now justify, which many of us we have been using for our documents. So we justify. So we are saying that distribute it what evenly. So you see, when you have a lot of text, you will see it align them to the exact ends of what the document. So if it is long, I don't have any long. Okay, except I do this font's big for you to show you what I mean. Big. Good. Now it's big. Now if you see justify, you see that at the ends. So either on the first side, on the left side, your text will be exactly aligned to the left. And when it ends on the right too, your text should be exactly aligned to the right. That's what we call justify. So that when you are reading, it looks very nice, end-to-end stuff. Okay, so that's the align. Now we go to the indents and tabs. This is where the ruler comes in. Now, if you want, like the way we used to write the old letters, paragraph, you need to get some space in between the first line and the second line. So there will be some small space. That's what we call the indent. So I can use the tab key on the keyboard. Now the tab key is what? You see two arrows, one to the left, one to the right. Normally it's before the Q key. When I hit on that tab, in the space for the first paragraph, and I go to the next paragraph, I do the same. The space comes, I do the same. So when you look at this format, this is the olden way we're writing letters. Now, apart from using the tab, this is where the ruler comes in. So if I want to shift this margin, I can use Please, can you see the where my mouse is? The ruler. So these are the indent tabs.
Yeah, we can.
Yes, indent tabs. So the first one will actually work with the first line of the paragraph. It works with the first line of the paragraph. So if I drag this, only the first line will move, only the first line. So you can go as far as you can, and then you can bring it back as well. Now, if you want to move the entire paragraph, then we are looking at using what? The left indent, the down one. The down one will move everything. So you see, we are moving everything. So we can move all the paragraph to the right side. Good. Can do this. So these things, they help. If you have pictures in your document and you want to put the pictures by the right side and keep your text on the left, you can do the same thing. So you push the text here, and then on this space, you can drop your image there. So that I can do text wrapping on the document. So that's where with the indenting. So you can do this as well for the next paragraph. You can say, let me push this paragraph to this side and then leave this one. So the same thing happens. If you want to put this to the right, so all this one, instead of doing align right, it's not nice. So I'll go back to the left and I'll use this, the indent tab, and I push this one to the right. So letters, those who write letters, instead of using the align right, you use this one. And now when you print, you can sign here. Now line and paragraph spacing. This will be very simple. Let me do this one fast and then we go. This is where the line spacing is. So around the paragraph, there are align commands. On the right, you see line and paragraph spacing. When you click it, you see the options. By default, when you start Word by default, it uses 1.5. But most of the times we use 1.5 for official documents. And for those who do thesis and then dissertation, they use 2.0. So this is how we change the line spacing. I can select the entire document and go to line spacing and say I want to do 2.5. Now 2.5, you see the kind of spaces it leaves. Big spaces. So I say I don't like this. I do undo, Control Z, undo, and then maybe I choose 1.5. This is better. Now let us officially write them in Times New Roman. So I do Times New Roman. I want to do justify so that it will show at the ends. So I'll start from here. First paragraph, select to the end of the letter, and I do justify, which is Control J. So now it's nicer. Then if you want to save, you save it. So we have another document which I named list. So if you want to do a list, you come back to the paragraph, you will see some bullets. We have the bullets and then we have the numbers. So we have bullets and we have numbers. Where my mouse is, there are two of them. So if I want to bullet this, I only select this ones and select this one, the bullet. So this will be the dots. Now, if you don't like this ones, if you don't like the way it has shifted to the right, you also remember that the indents are done by what? The indent tabs. So if you don't want it this way, you can always shift it back to what? Original position. You can always shift it back to original position. Now, in this case, you see that the top one is for the what? The bullets. And then the down one is for what? The text. So if you want them to align here, you want the bullet to align with the agenda. So you have to go back here. So you have to select everything and then you go back and then the bullet will align with the agenda, the A, and you leave the rest like that. If you want to change the dots, you don't want the dots. You only go to the arrow, the drop-down arrow there, and then you select any of this. And select the correct, the arrow, depending on what you want. If you don't like any of these ones, you can go and look for your symbols. So I want you to know that you can change the bullets from a dot to a hollow circle, that's a straight circle, to a square, to some other symbols. to arrow or to correct, so I can just use this one. So that is for the list. And then for the numbers as well, so I go down and I want to use this one for numbers. So I go here and I select the numbers. So I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can do this. I can as well do I, all this. I can do capital A, B, C, D. You can do all these things. So if you want to do like A, B, and talk about D, like in D, we have another set of options. And then we come to E. You can use the tab key to do those things. So I do undo, undo, undo. If I want this tool to go under the A, I will only come here and say this and that, tab, it changes. This and that, it changes. That's it. That's the way the numbers and then the bullets. Okay, headers and footers, and then we do page numbering. So when you look at the document, there's another one I sent, that is headers and documents. Now, when you take your document, look at the ruler on the left, where my mouse pointer is on the left. You can see that there's a portion that has a gray color before the white continues. Now, this area is what we call what? The header. So when you come here and you double click on the top there, you enter into the header. So in the header, you can make the document your own. You can write your name there so that people would know that you are the one who created this document. So I can write my name over here and say enter. Okay, enter goes to the next line. I can add the date. You can actually add date here. So I go to date and time, and I add this date here. So once I add the date here, I have my name and my date, and then I come back here. I can either escape or double click in the main document. Now you see my name on top. You see the date, my name and the date on top. Now it will repeat on every document. So when you save this document and you send to everybody, they will know that you are the one who has worked on the document. The same way you are doing this, you can do this under. So the top is what? Header, and the down is what? The footer. So when you double click here, you see the footer will open. You can do the same thing here. So I can actually write here, oh, this document is protected by copyright. Plenty things, and then maybe I align to the right. And then I also come out of this document. So this will be under the document. When you print it, will come as a gray text. It will not show like the black one, but it will show on all the documents on the footer to show, whilst your name and co is showing on the what? On the header. So with the header and the footer, we use the footer normally for the page numbering. So for page numbering, you can actually go to the footer or the header, any of those things. So I can double click here. Once I double click here, this will show on the header and footer what? Ribbon. But normally you have to go to insert and then go to, on the right side, you see page number. Click on the drop down and say, maybe I want to start from what? The top of the page, bottom of the page. We want to use the down there. So you go to the bottom of the page and you select any style you want to use. So I select this. Now it clears what I've written down there. It clears it. And then you see the page numbers. 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. It continues. Now the problem, that the headache that we always have in doing page numbers is when we want to do II on top and do 1, 2, 3 on the down. So the steps are here. We'll go to the steps right now. So page numbering. Okay, so to restart page numbering, the page numbering, what you do is that you place the insertion point at the top of the page, normally at the beginning of the text. Select the layout tab and click the break command and select next page. a section break will be added to the document. Double click the header or footer containing the page number you want to restart. Click page number and select format page numbers from the menu. Then from the dialog box, select the start at and enter number. Use the default one and click OK. The page numbering will restart. So we'll go through these steps right now. So I'll go and change my document. I'll go and change my document. And then I go to the page numbers. This was a big document. So from here, let me go back to insert and I say page numbers. And I say, okay, let me do it at the bottom of the page, down. So that's the footer. Oh, please. Okay, so I'll use this one, the first one, or the middle one. Let me use the middle of the page. I do this. In fact, I didn't want to use the number, so I'll go back. Then I go back then and then edit it. Go to page number, format page numbers. I don't want 1, 2, 3. I want I. Okay, good. I want this one. I go okay. So the I's will change. To change, the ones will change to I. I see I here. Down there, triple I's, and then I see the IV. Instead of the V, I want to start a 1 from here. So that's what we are saying, that you go back to this side, the first text. So the beginning of the page, and I go to layout. And they say I should add what? Break. So I go to layout, there's a break here. I click on the arrow there. It tells me to use what? Next page. So I go here. Section break. I see the next page. Then now I click the next page. Bam. And I click the next page. There's a break on the first page. Then our document tells us that once you do that, double click the header or the footer containing the page number you want to what? Restart. So we go back and then we double click. Now I am on the footer. So I'll go and double click this. Then you do format page numbers. So I do format page numbers. So I have to do number format. I want it to be 1, 2, 3, and I'll do 1. So I say okay. Now it changes. Now when I come here, the first page, now I have IV. Then the next one becomes what? Number 1, number 2, number 3. So this is how we do what? The page numbering. So we have different page numbers. We have from I to IV, and then we continue from what? 1 to the last, the number that you want to do. So when you're doing your thesis, your dissertation, you can use this format to do your numbering. I will complete on tables. So I have another document I named tables. If you want to create your own table, you go to insert, and then you see table. Now click the arrow, drop down arrow. Now you can actually do a manual one here. So if you want maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 columns and maybe 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This you can get from the default one, like the manual one. But once you want to exceed this is 10 by 10. If you want to exceed it, then you go to what? Insert table. Then I want to do the number of columns. So I say number of columns 17, number of rows maybe 20. But once it's in the range of 10 by 10, I can always use the manual one. So I can do, let's say 6 by 4. And I say, okay. So this is how we start with the table. If you click here, I want to go to the next, use your tab key. Tab will move you to the next thing you type. Tab will move you to the next cell. Tab will be, so we are supposed to do days of the week. So we'll say Monday, and we go to the next, Tuesday, next, Wednesday, auto tab, we go Thursday, auto enter, Friday, enter, I go to Saturday, I enter, okay, Saturday. Then I need Sunday. I don't have Sunday. Now, when you hover on it, you will see some plus. Some plus there. Once you click the plus, it creates another column for you. They type Sunday. The same thing happens. If you want to add more rows, you see the plus, you hit it. It adds more rows. If you want to format your table, you select the whole table. Selecting the whole table is very simple. You look at what we see here, like 4 arrows here, intersecting 2 arrows, one to the top, to the right, to the left, and then to the what, down. You hit on it, it selects everything. And then we can go to what? So we have table design. You can choose all these options. You can select any other option you want to select. So you can try the feel and the look of all these ones. And then the one that you think is best for you, you choose it. So I can go to this one, the down there, and select multiples of them. So you can select this. If this is nice for you, you use it. If it's not nice, you can't use this one. If you don't want it, you can go back. You can actually go and select some tables without lines for the columns. So you can do a lot of things here. You can actually beautify your table and make it so nice. I can go back and select another one like this. So this is how we format the tables. So we look at the activity. It's supposed to be your assignment. We are going to demonstrate how to use Word to create some predefined templates, like a resume, like a calendar, like a brochure, like a letterhead. So I'll pick any of the Word document. I go to File, Back View, and then I go to New. And now when you go there, you see templates. Please, can you see the templates? There are many templates. So I can just type here.
Yeah, we can see templates.
I can type resume or CV, and I say search for them. So I do enter. It will give you thousands of what? Templates. So if I want to use it, you can look at the preview for all. The ones that you want to use, you look at it, the ones that you prefer, then you select. So let's say I want to use this format, the first one. So I select the first one and I say create. Okay. So it's too big. So I'm using the slider for the zoom back to my print. Okay. So it means that if you get this document now, you just have to edit. So all you do is that you change this and put your image there. Your name here, you type your name there, your education, you put all the school name, the date. Now you have your what? Resume. Now the other one we're supposed to do is the calendar. So let's see if you can get the calendar over there, new. And I say a calendar, I can see one there. And let me look for a different one. So instead of buying a calendar from the market, you can do one for yourself. Let me use this one with the events. And I say create. Okay, so select a month and a year to create a calendar. Let me use November. And I say, okay. Good. Okay, so this is November. So you can do this for December as well. Do that for January. And then you can put the documents together, print it on a card, and put it in your room. You have a calendar. So those who have companies and you want to do letterhead and you don't have money for people to do it for you, you can try and do it yourself. You go to File, you go to New, type letterhead, search for letterhead to give you some options. Okay, you look for, I think this one is nice. I want this one. And I say create. That's my, okay, so your name here, maybe your company name here, you can change all this one. So this is a letter, like a letter form. So you can actually delete all these ones. You can delete all this text. Or you can keep it. Okay, you can delete all this text. And then you can print this on your papers and put them down. So that anytime you write a letter on your plain sheet, you put the paper there and you print on it. Or you can keep this as what? A soft copy. And anytime you want to do something, you come and type within the soft copy and then you print. Then the last one is a brochure. New, and let me say brochures. So let me look for a brochure. I'll try and use some of the templates here. Right. Okay, let me use this one. Then I create. Then you go and edit it. Good. So you go through this, you just change all these things to suit what you want to do. You save it, you take it to, you print this on a card, you work out the things yourself. You are good to go. You don't pay anything to anybody. So on this note, I want to end our session. If you have any questions, please ask me so that we can end.
I think today we've learned an interesting topic, and I'm okay. For my side, no question.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you really done well. God bless you. I think I'm okay.
We recorded the session, and so like I said, when we are done with the classes, we'll try and put everything on YouTube, and then we'll share with the whole class. Okay, so we'll meet next week.